Okay, so this is contextualizing equations. So you're going to have a story problem, and you're going to have an equation, and then we're going to write a story problem over here. Here, I give you a story problem, and then we're going to decontextualize because you're going to write the equation, and then you're going to find the solution, which is basically solve. So this first thing, you have to kind of think about what that equation means. You have 6 parentheses x minus 1 equals 24. So you kind of have to think about what those particular things can be. You can have, and then you get your amount. So you're going to have to determine what these values are. And remember, like this is going to be 6 x minus 1 equals y. So that we got to figure out what that 24 is actually going to represent. And so one of those things, if you just talk about like a tennis ball, so x would be your tennis ball. Okay, so x will be your tennis ball, and then what happens, x is going to be your total, how many total tennis balls you can have, and then y would be, or x is the number of balls that you purchased, and then y is going to be the amount. Because we're going to spend $24. So basically, if you do this, so if you buy, whoops, helps if I could spell, tennis balls, there's a special deal at the store, and pay $24. Notice the dollar sign went in front of the 24. So for each purchase, you get 1 ball. That would be X. Free. And that's why you have that X minus 1, because you get that 1 ball free. That's where you're going to go through and subtract it. Okay, so this next thing is going to be, you've got the length, oh, sorry, we're on the next one. And so now you've got 0.5, 0.75, and then times 5 equals 215. So I like to think of this as, you can think of this as a percent. So that's like 75% of the original amount of money. Okay, that's a little bit easier to look. So, and then this one, I like to think of this as, these are going to be soccer balls. Okay, and then they're going to be your total. This is your total cost. And then that's your total T. This is your Y right there, that 215. So basically, a soccer team a soccer team buys 5 identical balls, 5 soccer balls, and then they are on sale for 25% off. So they're on sale for 25% off, and then the total cost is $215. $215. And remember that X is representing the original cost, and this is the cost of 1 ball. So this is what is the original cost of the S ball, because I'm too lazy to write soccer. And then that's that particular equation. What is the original cost of the soccer ball? And then this is how you would take an equation and make it contextualized. And I'm going to agree with you guys, this stuff is really difficult. This stuff is more difficult. So the easier part is now when we go through and we decontextualize. So decontextualizing is taking the story problem. So the length of the square is increased by 2. And this increase by 2 is going to cause us a little bit of problems, but we're going to talk about that. And the resulting perimeter is 48. What is the length of the new one? So in this one, X is going to represent the original length. And then Y is going to be your perimeter. So now when I write my equation, I've got 48 because that's my original perimeter. And then if you look down here, I'm going to kind of move this little. But if you look, this is a square. And so a square has length, length, and length, and length. So there's 4 sides that are all the same. That's what's special about a square. That's the definition. It also has 4 right angles. And you remember that from geometry, I'm sure. So, and then when you're going to find the perimeter, you're just going to go around the square. So 48, so this is going to be 4 because there's a total of 4. So there's that total of 4. And then you're going to have your length, the original length, and then you added 2 to that to get your new length. And so you added 2 to that. So now we got to go through and solve. So now you've got 48 is equal to 4. And then you have L plus 2. And so now what happens is we got to go through and solve. So we're going to divide by 4 on both sides of the equal sign. So that 4 cancels out. And then 48 divided by 4 is 12. And then you're going to have L plus 2. Your original length plus 2. So now what happens is we got to go through and we have to solve for the original length. So I subtract 2, and now the original length is going to be 10. The original length of your square is going to be 10, but I increased that by 2, and that's how I got that. So that original length is 10.